Hey guys, Jano Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land, whatever part of the world that you are in. All right, I'm going to sit down here. Morning coffee break. I took an extra little coffee break this morning because it's pretty chilly out right now and just need to get warmed up. Holy crap. Loving that coffee. Okay. I had somebody asked me a question yesterday, which I thought was a really good question, and I wanted to talk about it for a minute, which was if he transitions from the lifestyle that he has now to a more simple life as I live, where we don't have the cable and a lot of the amenities that a lot of folks have. The basic question was, how do I help my kids adjust to this type of a lifestyle, to where they're not always plugged in and so on. And I assume that he means the typical modern life where they've got 600 channels on the cable TV and they're access to lots of video games and so on and so forth. First off, I will say I am not any kind of an expert parent. I am not trying to advise or give advice on parenting. I'm not a kittyologist, nor would I ever be so arrogant as to presume that I could tell other folks what to do and how to do it with their children. Everybody's children are individual, and everybody's children has their own way of adapting and overcoming to things that are going to go on. Having said that, what I can tell you is how I helped my children make the adjustments that we've made over the past several years, and what we've did, the steps that we took to help them adjust. Because there's always going to be the potential out there for what I would call a life-changing event. I have used the old SHTF thing several times, but I really don't care for that term. I would rather refer to it as being on our own, or a life-changing event of some sort, which could mean anything from somebody, like in our case where my wife got sick and is now handicapped, somebody loses a job unexpectedly, or if everything comes crashing down all around us. Any of those was going to qualify as a life-changing event, and there's going to have to be some serious changes made in the lifestyle. Well, we were the typical modern family. We had the 600 channels, we had cable, we had all the stuff that we were paying for before my wife became handicapped and disabled. And as we started transitioning to this more simple, what I refer to as a simpler lifestyle, it was a bit of a shock for my kids, to go from having all kinds of stuff available to them all the time to where we are now. I didn't make that change overnight. I didn't just say, okay, everything's done, we're done right now. I tried to take it in stages for them. I didn't cut the cable completely off at first. I started whittling it down over the course of several months to where instead of having 300 channels, now we have 150 channels. And I tried to keep the stuff that the kids were into for a little bit longer, to try to give them a period of adjustment. If that makes sense. Also, when we started building and we started gardening and we started doing that kind of stuff, I got my kids involved in what I was doing. We all built the chicken house together as a family. We all raised up the chickies, our first set of little chickens that we bought. We all raised them up. We all took part in it. I tried to get them and keep them involved in the home place, giving them certain responsibilities, their chores, their things that they are responsible for every day, without exception. It may be Christmas, and the kids are excited about it being Christmas, but just because it's Christmas doesn't mean that the animals don't need to be fed before we do Christmas. Those kinds of things. And what I noticed was that they had developed, and they have in themselves now, a really good sense of pride that we accomplish these things by ourselves as a family. I try to remind them that every day, we have a chicken house out there with chickens that we get eggs from and chicken from because we as a family took it upon ourselves to build it and make it happen. And that gives my kids a sense of pride, which helps boost their self esteem, which helps boost their sense of responsibility of taking care of what we have. And like I said, this is just what I've noticed in my children and the things that I did for my kids. My kids still have an Xbox that they can play video games on. We obviously still have internet connection. And on my children's Xbox, since we have internet, they can watch Netflix, which we pay $8 a month for, and YouTube, which is free. And there is all kinds of stuff for them to watch on rainy days and on cloudy days and on whenever they get their chores done. If they don't want to play a video game, then they can watch Netflix, watch some of their shows on the Netflix, or they can watch some of their shows on YouTube. They can watch some of their favorite YouTubers. My kids love PewDiePie on YouTube. So they still have their time to be a kid. And I had forgotten about, and I had to remind myself several years back that there were still these really cool board games like Monopoly. Man, you can play Monopoly for almost an entire afternoon as a family, and it's fun. It really is a good time, and it makes your kids think. They think about whether they want to spend their money on a motel or they want to buy another property or something. So these are just things that I did to try to help my children adjust to our particular life-changing event. And like I said, I'm not any kind of a expert parent. I'm not going to win Father of the Year. I mean, I've had my moments. I still sometimes will get upset and I yell really loud and I'll stomp around the house or I'll smash my hand with a hammer or something. Sometimes kids are just going to be kids. They're going to forget to do stuff. They're going to be lazy about things. They don't really want to do it. They mumble and groan. Or their friends are at school or watching a particular show on cable that they don't watch. And I will try to explain to them that we are fed, we have a roof over our house, and they're doing really well with their grades in school. We love each other and we stick by each other as a family. And everything else that the world has to offer is just gravy on top of the biscuit. The biscuit, in my opinion, is the main core. We're fed, we're happy, we love each other, and we have a roof. Anything else that we can do is just more gravy on top of the biscuit on your plate. And it's been challenging. There's been times, when my kids, they get ridiculed by some of their other friends at school because they don't have the latest, greatest iPhone, or they don't have this, or they don't have that. But at the same time, my kids understand that those types of things are extreme luxuries and are not necessary to make you a good person, a productive person, an intelligent person. And it's been a challenge and it's been a struggle, and that's something that every parent will have to deal with their child individually on. I mean, if their kids are upset because there's other kids at school picking on them because they don't have the new iPhone, whatever number they are on now, as far as phones go, then I've had to have those discussions with my kids. Say, well, if that person wants to brag about how good they have it, about how cool their new stuff is, if they feel the need to brag about that, then they obviously don't feel good about themselves as a person on the inside. You have to start by feeling good about yourself. Feel confident in yourself that you have the ability to do anything that you want to do. Know that you can accomplish goals because we do it here. We have done it. We've set goals and we've done them. We've accomplished them. We take care of ourselves. If the power goes out, we're fine. Nothing changes for us. There's a lot of folks that wouldn't be as fortunate as we are if something bad happens. So I try to teach my kids that there's going to be other people out there who will ridicule them or make fun of them because we're the poor hillbilly country folk. But at the same time, know that we are strong and we are responsible and we can do what we set our minds out to do. You don't need to have fancy electronic equipment and you don't need to have lots of money in your pocket and a big fancy house, a big fancy car to be successful. A person's self-worth and a person's esteem and how they carry and conduct themselves, in my opinion, is just as valuable as a big suitcase full of money, and sometimes even more valuable. And that's what I try to relay to my kids. When we made this event, when this event happened, I tried to explain to them that we don't really have a choice. These are changes that are going to have to be made, and it's going to make us stronger as a family, and it's going to make us stronger people individually, because of the fact that we are having to sacrifice certain things, and we will have to work extra hard in order to get some of the luxuries in life. It's just going to, like I said, in my opinion, teach my kids goal orientations. If they want something, then they're going to have to set a goal and work towards it, whether it be helping throw hay, whether it be doing extra wood cutting and stuff where they can make a little bit of extra money. We get some extra firewood, we can sell it, and if the kids have helped, then they will get, they'll get in on the money, and then they can get a new game for their Xbox or something like that. So I hope I'm not just rambling. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Like I said, I'm not trying to tell anybody what you should or should not do with your children. I'm simply trying to express what some of the things that I did with my children when we had our, when we started making our switch in our lifestyle. And like I say, the things that I've noticed about it is they take a sense of pride now in the garden, in the chickens, in the rabbits, and they are proud of the fact that we can take care of ourselves, and they're proud of the fact that they can cook, because all my children can cook. They know that no matter what life throws at them, they are going to at least be able to eat because they can take ingredients and make a meal. So there you have it. That's what I did. I tried to encourage them to keep going in that. I try to encourage them to set goals and to achieve those goals. I really am hoping that all my children are going to be going to college and doing that college thing and moving in that direction towards success. But at the same time, I'm trying to instill in them that a simple lifestyle without a whole lot of money and luxuries and fancy electronics and stuff, it's okay. It's still okay. It's okay to be the guy who raises chickens and rabbits and pigs and feeds his family that way, versus the person who has a successful job and will purchase everything from the stores. Either one of those lifestyles is okay. It's what you choose to do and what you're going to take the most pride in doing. Myself, I didn't have a whole lot of choice when my wife was sick, was put in where we are now, but we've done okay, and we're doing okay. And I thank God for that. And I thank God for my children, and I'm glad that they've adjusted. It was a little bit more difficult on my older children than it was my young children, but kids are resilient, kids are smart, and you're just going to have to set them down. I set my kids down and I told them how it was. I didn't try to butter it up any. I didn't try to, kind of tell them little white lies. I tell my kids how it is, and then we go from there. And a lot of decisions that we make, we'll make as a family, and then we'll make our family goal and go from there. We have a pig now, which was a family goal, and we've accomplished that, and now we're going to decide the next future steps and what we're going to do with that and how we're going to go about making it all come together. So, and I'll do a welcome to the family pig video here in the next couple of days when I get a second. We're just kind of in our winter routine right now. Cut wood, keep the fire going. Feed everybody, cut wood, keep the fire going, feed everybody. So there hasn't been a whole lot of extra cool stuff going on around here. So that's the reason why I haven't been putting out a whole lot of videos, and I apologize, but it'll get interesting here. The weather will break, and we'll get into spring. We're going to start planting our garden. Excuse me. Not planting, planning our garden out. That way, when the time the plant comes, we already know what we're going to do. So, but we'll talk about that some other time. So anyway, I hope that helps. Like I say, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do or how to do it. It's just what I did and how I helped my children, and it seemed to work. My children are doing well in school. They have responsibilities, a sense of responsibilities, which I believe has led to a little more pride and self-esteem, which is always good to have in children. So, okay, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to get back after it. The wood pile getting a little small here. We're going to take care of that business. So, you guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And God bless. In the end. Buzz, buzz. The end.